Ladies, when a woman is jealous, envious of you, or she desires to bully you in some way, she can try to get close to you way too soon. A woman who is very conniving, very sneaky, who is always plotting to do something against another woman or to interfere in some kind of way, she will often try to get close to you in order to humiliate you in some way. Jealous, envious women are masters at pretending to like you so that they can get into the inner workings of your life and use those things against you. That is why it's important that you assess the people you allow very close to you. Some people, some women, get so close with coworkers and associates that they actually allow them into their homes way too soon. When you allow a person to bombard you with their nosiness, with their intrusiveness, with their desire to get into your business, you open yourself up to be harmed. I'm not saying that if you have a relationship with a person and you've known them over time, that it's okay, it's not okay to allow them in. But a woman who is intrusive, she wants to cross all of your boundaries and get all of the information about you and your life and how you live, especially people that you don't know that well, like coworkers and associates. Those kind of people will use those very things against you to humiliate you in some way. Have you ever invited a coworker, a classmate, somebody that you really don't know that well? You invited them into your home, and then suddenly you're hearing little things about yourself around the office, or you're hearing little things about yourself around the way or in school or things like that. It's because you allowed a hater to come into your home. It's because you allowed somebody who really doesn't like you, really doesn't have a genuine interest in you, other than using you for their entertainment. That is the reason why you have to be mindful of these one-sided relationships. When I say one-sided relationships, I mean relationships where people want to know all of the information about you and they do not divulge any information about themselves. They want to know all of the personal details of your life. They want to know your relationship status. They want to know about your children. They want to know about your history, your family, how your upbringing, all these kind of things. And they might do it out of this, this demeanor of being a girl's girl, wanting to be around you and just, yeah, I understand. Oh yeah, that makes sense. They always speak in very general terms while they expect for you to give up all of the details. And women who are not aware in that way, when a woman is more, a little bit naive and not, as they say, street smart, you won't even recognize when a woman is crossing your boundaries. And when women are jealous and envious, they are known to cross boundaries. They are typically the women that love to use you as the dumping ground for their messiness. They love to get women, and if you're going in a list, number 2 way, you can tell that a woman is trying to get too close to you too soon in order to set you up for failure. She likes to invite you into her drama. What do I mean by that? She likes to use you as a dumping ground for gossip and messiness. She will make sure that you are her go-to whenever she gets the tea on somebody else. It's because she wants to use you as a source of saying that you were there when the thing went down. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. It's almost like you're guilty of being in the wrong place at the wrong time because you have somebody coming at you telling you things that you do not want to know. Jealous, envious women, women who desire to bully and somehow get you caught up in their mess, they love to use you as a listening ear for messiness. And if you are not a strong woman, strong-minded, you will allow her to dump on you. You will allow her to give you information about people of which you have no interest and you have no, you really have no interest in their lives. You're not gossiping. You don't care about those kind of things. And because of that, oftentimes women who are bullies, who are a little bit toxic and messy, they will seek you out because they know you're not typically the kind of woman that's caught up in that kind of mess. But because of that, that's why they want you to know everything. So when things hit the fan, they can say, well, so-and-so knows about this too. Yes, women can be very conniving in that way, especially when they're messy. And if they are a little bit jealous or envious of you, they're envious of the fact that you don't get caught up in messiness, that you don't like the gossip. They will make sure that they somehow reel you into their messiness in order to get you caught up. Do not allow a jealous, envious woman, a messy woman, to get you caught up in their foolishness. Feminine, wise, confident, well-rounded women do not get caught up in drama. Do not get caught up in messiness. My saying is, if I don't know this person, unless you want me to pray for them in some way, I don't really need to know all of the details of what's going on in their lives. It's me and you. Let's talk about your life. Let's talk about my life. And oftentimes, people who gossip the most, they will never, or they prefer not to tell you too much about themselves. They're very private people, but they have no problem spreading somebody else's business. Messy. So you need to avoid those kind of people and do not get too close to them. And I said initially, don't get too close to them too soon, but you shouldn't get close to them at all, because those are the kind of people that will smile in your face, talk to you about different people, and next thing you know, you're caught up in some mess unknowingly to you. And then people who desire to get close to you, the original point, do not allow people that you really don't know, especially women, no matter how much they come off as girls, and all of this, if you get any hint of disrespecting your boundaries, do not let them into your personal space. I mean, don't let them into your home, wherever you frequent often. If you have an office, don't allow them into your office environment, because people like that, when they have a little bit of jealousy and envy towards you, they don't come into your home, come into your office, come into your space because they want to be around you. They don't come into your environment because they genuinely care about how you live and what you do. They come around you because they're looking for something to talk about. They're looking for something to somehow make you seem not as great as what they actually think you are. See, when people are jealous and envious of you, they already have a high idea of how they see you, and they hate that for them. So they have to look into your life to try to find something that is not quite right. They have to look into your home and say, oh, she has these kind of clothes, but her house looks like that. She drives that kind of car, but she lives in that neighborhood. You know what I mean? It's like they have to balance it out in order to make their confidence feel good. That reminds me of an episode of all the shows, Frasier, where it was this guy that started working in their radio station, and he was handsome. He was a doctor. All of the women were fawning over him when he came into the radio station, and Frasier was a little bit jealous. I mean, these are men. It goes both ways, but I'm giving you the example. He was a little bit jealous of how this man was getting all this attention from the women. So what did he do? When he had a party, he recognized that this man did not know how to sing. Like, he was singing some popular song that they all knew, and he was singing off key. Well, Frasier's ears perked up. Like, this man cannot sing. He sounds horrible. So he had his brother play a tune so that way everybody can gather around and listen to this man embarrass himself. Well, that was a TV show, and that episode was funny, but a lot of women operate that way also. They will play on your weakness. They will pinpoint the one thing they can find about you and highlight it to everybody else. You might be an extremely talented worker, extremely talented, writer. You might be a beautiful person inside and out. But if they come to your home and see something that's out of sorts, they will not hesitate to clown you to the entire community. They will not hesitate to say, oh, she live in this neighborhood. See, around your company, you might be known as that classy woman that's beautiful, that's, everybody likes you, but you allowed somebody to get too close to you too soon, especially when you're naive and you don't realize that this woman probably really doesn't like you. You overlook some red flags, you overlook some shade, and you get together after work and say, hey, yeah, just meet me in my house. Invite her into your home. She sits in your living room while you're upstairs getting dressed for you to go out or something. Next thing you know, you come back to the office and you're hearing rumors about where you live, how you live. She makes up something and says she saw something in your house. Women can be very conniving in that way. So when a woman is more apt, she tries her best to get too close to you too soon, to me, that is a red flag, especially when it comes to wanting to know the details about exactly how you live, where you live, what section of the city, what section of town you live in. That's just too much. And a lot of people, especially in these workplaces, they go in there treating their coworkers and managers like they're their friends. I have seen many incidents happen where people get way too close with one another and now they're spreading each other's business all around the office. That's one thing I never do. There are only maybe a couple of associates of each job I've been in where I've told them anything a little bit personal, and it was pertaining to my children. But anything other than that, they really don't need to know. And also, they weren't a hater. So when it comes to dealing with jealous, envious women who desire to bully you in some way, one of the major signs will be that they're trying to get way too close to you too soon. And often it will be one-sided relationships. It will be where they want to know everything about you, but they don't want to divulge anything about themselves. And to me, that automatically signifies that you only want to know things about me. You don't want a relationship. You don't want a friendship. You don't want to hang out. You want to know everything about me so you can use things against me. You want to know things about me so you can do to me what you do to other people. Talk about them. See, people like that you don't need in your life. See, women who look to elevate, work on their personal development, do better in life, we don't have time to deal with women who want to get close to us in order to somehow pick us apart and humiliate us in some way. We are not anybody's coffee table talk. And what I mean by coffee table talk, I mean you don't want to be the one that people are sitting around talking and chit-chatting about the intimate details of your life simply because you didn't know how to have boundaries with a certain person. And ladies, you also have to get over the, how can I say it? You have to get over the idea of thinking that everybody is going to be okay with you and being uncomfortable with being disliked. See, if somebody dislikes you for having boundaries and not allowing you in their business and not allowing them in your business, not allowing them to step over certain boundaries, not allowing them to be intrusive, not allowing them to be nosy. If people have a problem with you and they don't like you because of that, that is their problem. When you recognize that somebody is doing way too much, way too soon, that is their problem. And if they can't handle or respect the fact that, no, that's okay, you don't have to meet me in my house, I'll meet you there. That's okay. You don't need to know that. Why do you need to know? Asking somebody why do they need to know something, that is not rude. That is for me, I think that's a valid question when somebody's asking you something way too personal. When you just met somebody and they're asking you certain things. I actually had a woman, a coworker, an ex-coworker, ask me, "Oh, do you have kids all by the same guy?" What kind of trifling, tacky behind question is that? You don't even know me that well to ask me those kind of things. How much do you make for a living? Tacky. It's like those kind of questions. See, women who are classless, they don't know what to say out of their mouths. They don't know when to just listen and observe the person you're talking to and then assess whether or not it's valid to ask those kind of questions. It's never okay to ask somebody those kind of questions unless you've known them for an extensive amount of time and you all have that kind of relationship. But someone you barely know, that just goes to show the cluelessness of some women. So when a woman is trying to get the details about things that are none of her business, such as the things I just mentioned, it's only so that they can make some kind of assessment on the type of person you are. See, if you come off as being a little bit too clean cut, if you come off as being a woman who is a little bit too put together, they will try to find something to put you in the same messy category as them. Be careful and be mindful of getting way too close to some women way too soon. I have seen relationships and, Working relationships implode all because women allowed people to get close to them way too soon. Come to find out, they were a hater. I actually heard of someone being jealous of another woman's hair, talking about how the bundles were, they were cheap, and oh, she be wearing those hairstyles, but it's cheap bundles, all this. I'm like, what? Like, these kind of things actually happen with women. It's absolutely foolish. So be mindful of the kind of women that you are allowing too close to you too soon, and assess the energy. If you catch shade, if you catch disrespect, if you see any kind of red flags, I'm not saying you have to discount people altogether, but be mindful and be aware. Don't act like things don't exist because you're trying to keep the peace. You can keep the peace by not saying anything, but you can also not be bothered with certain people. All right? Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.